this because, we could talk about it all night. We're going to move over to, and look, more updates on this we'll let you know as the shows go on. Martin and Dave, I'm going to hand this over to you guys, and you're going to go through All Out because I'm interested to hear Dave's thoughts on this, who hasn't covered a show in a while. And Martin, I want you to have the floor here because we've laughed enough at AEW's misfortune, so let's give them some good press. So take it away, Martin.
I thought this was a very good pay-per-view. It wasn't one of their, it's hard to say best ever because they're only 3 years and they only happen every 3 months, so it's not that there's dozens to choose from. I wouldn't put it in the top half of all the pay-per-views they've ever had, but I still thought it was a great show. Some of it was hampered slightly by booking that made more sense later in the event, like the ladder match. I get that it was setting up for MJF's return, and it did pay off big when MJF came out. But at the time, it kind of made all the mad stunts that the guys were doing with the ladders before the Joker came out. It kind of made all that redundant. It was all kind of instantly overshadowed, which again was a pity because some of the guys like Dante Martin and that were just putting their life and limb on the line with some of the stunts they were pulling. A couple of the matches were angles more than matches. The Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy storyline. I was hyped up for a really good match between Christian and Jungle Boy because Christian can really still pull it out of the bag. Apparently he's injured, so that kind of explains why it was more of an angle. And it was a really good angle. That was an unbelievable choke slam he took. But then again, some of the matches in the night only went 4, 5, 6 minutes. And, while not even necessarily being bad, just didn't feel very pay-per-view worthy. I noticed earlier Dave said that he didn't think it was great or that it was fine, but it certainly wasn't worth $50. And I'd kind of maybe sympathise with you there because over on this side of the pond, we get it on Fight TV for 18. So
it's
definitely worth 18.
It's definitely worth 18. And look, again, I agree with Dave to an extent. A lot of this was angled. I was expecting a bigger show. But, yeah. Christian Cage, he's great. It's funny, just on that point, I'll let you go back in a second. But whenever I'm on Facebook or something in the several wrestling groups and people are like, oh, Christian Cage is great, I'm like, yeah, did you not watch TNA? And they're like, oh no. I'm like, why weren't you watching TNA? I watched TNA. It was brilliant. Christian Cage was the best thing. He had his little staple and everything with AJ and Tomko, and then Tomko robbed the Burger King and got arrested.
Well, I'm excited.
I love that the guy that's
TNA. No, sorry, go ahead, dude.
I was going to say, I love that the guy that's putting AEW down constantly is also reveling in the good old days of TNA.
No, see, it's just because I've lived through TNA and I'm like, I've seen all this before. It can only go so bad. But I just love the fact that, like, people just aren't aware of how bad it can go. And it's just like, okay, well, watch some TNA. And then I just love the fact that Tomko, shot up heroin in the Burger King that he just robbed instead of leaving. And that's why he got arrested. And that's why he hasn't been in WWE since. Oh, man. I can't wait until we cover TNA on the show, guys. I really am excited for it. It's going to be wonderful. Terrible, but wonderful.
If you take the drama, right? So take all the drama out of this show and just... I know it's difficult given everything that's happened, but look at this purely as a wrestling show. Like Eddie Kingston, Tomohiro Ishii, that was a top of the line match.
Yes.
The Elite versus Dark Order for the Trios title, top of the line match.
We should mention too. Aleister Black, gone, or Malachi Black is gone from AEW. He asked for his release, so he actually gave a bow in All Out because of that reason.
Yeah, is he dealing with?
Yeah,
been a couple of reports that he's just dealing with kind of mental health issues, and that he's just
the report from WrestleMania and the rest of the lads is that his contract, like, he was given his release with specific terms. Like, he can't just show up. He was supposed to wrestle this weekend for an independent, and he can't do it. So apparently it's to deal with his mental health. But There's also other reports that he wants to go back because he has an incredibly good relationship with Triple H. So he probably will go back to WWE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine so.
Yeah.
But then, like, you had the Wardlow FTR, the 6-man with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, dude, I was so happy to see the
Great
guns.
stuff with the.
I was so happy to see the guns. I was just.
They were brilliant.
They're one of my favorite tag teams. And again, if you guys haven't checked out in TNA, they were one of the best parts of TNA until they split them up and they start giving them world titles, which was that was a mess. But as a tag team, they're one of the best tag teams ever. Dave, you remember when they were in TNA, don't you?
Oh, how can you forget the great days of Kevin Nash and Alex Shelley?
What did they call themselves? I can't remember. There was a name.
Yeah, it wasn't U-Shoot. That was an actual wrestling shoot thing.
An actual thing.
It's escaping me, but it was brilliant.
It was
brilliant.
Kevin actually was.
Kevin was actually really good.
Yeah, he was just hanging out with all the X Division guys for no reason. It was hilarious.
No limits, man. No weight limits.
No limits. Yeah, but he never wrestled them. He just hung out with them. It was just backstage, like.
Just collecting his paychecks and.
Yep.
Having Alex Shelley shoot people with a camera randomly in the parking lots. Why not?
Oh my God, I love it. Anyway, sorry, Martin.
Swerve in Your Glory and the Acclaim came out. And this, I wasn't even looking forward to this match. I just thought it was kind of a nothing match. This had the whole place like on fire. They were hyped for this. And I really suspect that we're going to get an Acclaimed title change at Arthur Ashe. Either next week or the week after. And then the last 3 matches, the pay-per-view, were all good to excellent. You had Jericho Danielson, the Sting, Miro, House of Black, 6-man, and then the main event, Punk and Moxley. So, like, if you look at this purely as a wrestling event, I mean, it was really high quality.
Okay, my turn.
Yes, your turn.
Yeah, so... So unfortunately, I didn't watch the pre-show till after I watched the regular show, which is really a shame because those were probably some of the best matches of the night. What needs to be said right off the bat: 15 matches is too much for one show.
It makes
no sense.
It's far too much.
Way too much.
Way too much.
Matches weren't given the time that they deserved. The championship match, I'll start off with that and just kind of end load on it right there. Good. With 20 minutes more, phenomenal. And that's why I don't go, it was a great match, because I know how much more it could have been. And it was just a time restraint thing. Which you could probably see in the Sting match, which got all of, it was a 6-person match, 12 minutes. That's 30 seconds per person that's in that match.
Had enough time for them to do all their stuff, though.
I mean, they got their ish in, but aside from that.
That was it. That was what they were doing. That was the only thing they were there for. Do your stuff and then collect your paycheck.
Well, let me so I did enjoy the show. Like I said, I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought it was good. I hated the opening, the ladder match. I was into it. And then as soon as all the masked figures came out, like Martin said, it kind of took any legitimacy away from anything else that had happened.
Yeah. And
they didn't do the unveiling of MJF there. So I was just like, okay. And it kind of killed my momentum for the rest of the show. Like at that point, I was like, I don't care. I just watched Clash at the Castle yesterday, and that was great start to finish. This is like a fifth of the people there in the audience. It doesn't have that same feel to it. So that was rough.
And that's why TK was upset too. He got very angry. He was like, they're running a show against me. And it's like, welcome to wrestling.
Yeah, welcome to wrestling, but you wanted competition, you got it. And,
like, dude, I remember when we were on WrestleView, and like there'd be a TNA show, and WWE would just run like a house show, and it would just kill it. So it's like welcome.
Why not?
This is what they do.
So yeah, I mean, that was kind of, I had no idea who, since I hadn't been watching AEW regularly, I didn't even know who wasn't on the roster that potentially could be under the mask. So for me, I was just like, okay, and we're not even going to unveil them. So okay, next, I guess. And unfortunately, next was some of the best wrestlers in the world having one of those boring matches I've ever seen them have, which blows my mind. The trios match did nothing for me. So right off the bat, I was turned off by 2 matches. But I just kind of survived, I think, the pay-per-view for a bit. The tag match was good. The other trios match was good with the Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. I mean, really the best things to come out of the night are, my 2 favorite gals in AEW both won, that being Toni Storm and Tay Mello over there. So credit to where credit's due. But The Luchasaurus thing, I agree. It was a storyline, so it's nifty. But what the heck is the storyline? If you're just watching the pay-per-view, not keeping Dynamite in our minds, there was no explanation given for why Luchasaurus turned. You don't just turn viciously after a decade together as a team, or however long they were in the Indies. And it just, as somebody who is approaching it as, I'm a casual AEW fan, but definitely a hardcore wrestling fan, is this going to suck me in and make me want to watch more of their product? No, I was just like, okay, this happened. I've seen that before. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So if I take all the storylines out, just looking at it from a wrestling perspective, yeah, sure, great. If I went to an independent show and I got this card and I paid $30 or even $50 for like nice seats at an independent show, which would be like front row, I'd be losing my mind and say it's the best show I've ever been to. But to have this on a pay-per-view, the booking was super sketch, to put it best way I possibly can. Matches weren't given the time that they needed. There were too many matches on the card. Like I said before, they have too many stars that aren't being utilized at all, or if they are being utilized, aren't being utilized correctly. And you just can't make a Chicago main event with Punk less than 20 minutes long. Where's the payoff for the crowd that's there? Who, for all of us who have sat through 4-hour shows in person, and that's not even including the pre-show, by the time you get to that main event, I mean, it's really got to be something special, or else you just don't have the energy left. And I know they tried to get us into it with the Darby Allin match beforehand, the other trios match, because, why not do trios matches when you have way too many wrestlers, right? I guess. But it fell flat there. And then you had the reveal at the end, which was cool. But at that point, I forgot about the ladder matches, 14 matches later on the card. So it had potential, but the booking was super questionable for me. And if the booking is being done by these executive vice presidents, whatever the heck that's supposed to mean, yeah, they couldn't run a Target, because they couldn't run this show. That's for sure. I'm going to drop my mic right there.
Yeah, I mean, so the likes of the trios titles, I think that's just a style or a personal preference thing. Some people are into that kind of wrestling. Some people aren't.
I will watch AAA any day of the week. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the storylines are, but what they do is brilliant. I love trios matches. But when it's just trios matches because you have too many stars and you don't know what to do with them, that's where I go, what's really happening here? And I think that's just the over-analytical, trying to be casual, but trying to diagnose what I'm watching so I could talk about it situation that I found myself in. But again, I just want to emphasize, despite everything I said, which might sound really negative, it's all really meant, hey, if you change a couple things here and there, give matches more time, spread the card out. Some of those great matches that you had on the pre-show were better than what you had on the pay-per-view. So put them on the pay-per-view, put the next people on the next pay-per-view. That's why you have one every month.
Well, you don't have one every month.
But, well, okay.
They only have 4 a year. But it's funny.
All right. Well, what do I know? It's AEW. But the point is, the point I'm trying to get to is, despite all the things I said, there's supposed to be constructive criticism, because I want to see the company do well. I genuinely do.
So here's the thing.
I thought it was good. I really did think it was a good show.
Here's the thing I have for you guys, right? And it is important. And if you don't mention it now, because at the top of the hour we are going to go to Clash at the Castle. But this was done. This whole the CM Punk John Moxley match was great, right? But that was done for the interim title to be. Sorry, the interim title tournament thing was done, and then they had one stuff, right? So that was all done. And then Punk won the belt, and now the belt's gone.
And now, Dara, none of us mentioned this, and it deserves to be mentioned. Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson was an amazing match.
Fantastic.
And if that's what we're going to be seeing from this company going forward, I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in all the way. And that's kind of my point, is there are really great gems, just you got to highlight them.
And genuinely,
I was really surprised that the reaction to that match was so mixed because, like yourself, I thought it was
they were burned out, dude.
fantastic.
They were burned
And
out.
I thought, from people online.
Oh, really?
Like people talking about it afterwards. And on the night that it was, like you say, you did have 3 trios matches in that whole show. I thought it was a brilliant change of pace and change of style, and I was just genuinely surprised that the reaction to it was so mixed.
No, it's the same reaction, and like Dara's saying, it's the same reaction that AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura got at WrestleMania. It was a great match, but it was buried 6 hours into a 7-hour card.
Yeah.
So by that point, we were just burned out.
You just don't care.
Much as we wanted to care, even I, who love both those guys, especially AJ, was like, yeah. I mean, it was nice to see the crowd on their feet, but maybe they could have done something. No, they couldn't have done something more. They just didn't. It was just too long of there was just too much going on for them to shine. And that's, I guess that's can highlight how WWE can mess it up. AEW can mess it up. Ring of Honor, everybody can mess it up. Just learn and move forward.
Yeah, look, the perfect card is having, not 15. It's, 8 to 10 max. Because no matter how good it is, you're still, either it's going to be like a 20-second match, a squash match, or it's going to be, you're just going to be tired. You're just not going to care. Or even the longer match, the 6-man tag, which, again, they all got their stuff in. But that was it, But the point I wanted to make, we've gone through already an interim title, right? And we've already gone through tournaments, and now there's another tournament. Martin, I would have rather he just come out and said Mox versus Jericho or Jericho versus Danielson, for the belt.
I'm really looking forward to this particular tournament because unlike some of the other ones where the early matches of it are big star kind of mid card, or you kind of know who's winning, this one's all killer, no filler. So I can understand maybe being burned out on tournaments. I'm just genuinely excited about this one. And if it goes the way I think it's going to go with Danielson Mox final.
Yeah, I think that's probably the safe bet.
Yeah, and hopefully, I hope they put it on Danielson.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, Mox is amazing. But, he had the belt, he lost the belt, he had the belt, he dropped the belt. I think it's time to, go with someone else for a while.
But you can build a whole entire company around Danielson.
Oh, easily, yeah.
You really can. And I mean, imagine even even when he gets injured, he still works, which is probably bad, but he still does it. I mean, imagine the matches he can have with the Forbidden Door thing, where he can go to Ring of Honor, where he can do, New Japan, all that kind of stuff. It'll be great to see, but it's...
He's won Tope Suicida right from the end of his career is the problem.
But for life of me, I don't know why they didn't build the company around Jericho and Danielson and Mox. I don't know why they went for the shiny unpredictable, because it bit them, and it has bit them. And look, I like tournaments, I really do, but I'm also eating my words because I'm like, oh my God, another tournament again.
Well, I hope one thing they learn from all this, and particular Tony Khan learns from all this, is that the kind of shoot, is it real, is it not, angles, they're not really that compelling, and they have they're just fraught with chances for blowing up in your face.
Yeah, it's playing football with a landmine. It might not go off.
The payoff isn't worth the reward isn't worth the risk with them. Yeah. And the thing is that up until that, the stuff that was really compelling was the stuff that was completely worked. Like MJF coming back, you knew that wasn't a real, recorded phone call with TK that he was putting out, but it worked as part of the show, and it was, so look, I really hope they cool it on the, Vince Russo shoot.
But
stuff.
It's funny you mention it though, because you're like, oh, he's a wrestling historian. It's like, he didn't learn anything. And I often say that that history in its entirety, it doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. And that's when we start seeing this, is like, whoa, okay. And thank God that they have Chris Jericho, that they have Daniel Bryan, who can actually come in and be like, and apparently Chris Jericho has been praised for putting a lot of this together, to fix things. And if they didn't have that would be it. It's crazy how quick this whole thing can just go because of repeating mistakes that were made. But yeah, look, final word. I'm gonna give you a letter grade on this, Martin. What would you give the show?
B.
B, okay. Dave, I think it's gonna be a little less for you, is it?
Yeah, it was a C plus.
Okay. I'd give it probably a C plus as well. Again, the main event was great despite what happened afterwards. Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson, of course, it's good. There's a lot of really good stuff there. If you haven't seen it, do watch it, guys. We're gonna take a quick break here on the Phoenix FM show. So if you're listening to this, go over to nerdtoknowmedia, and you can also get everything you need to do from the thewrestlingrewindshow.com. Anything you want to plug, Martin, before we wrap up the FM segment?
No, just get over to Wrestling Rewind and check out our link tree. We have a truly glorious link tree.
Yeah, we
Dara daily waters it, clips it, looks after it like a wee bonsai. He's very proud of it.
I am indeed. Dave, your big moment. Hashtag said Dave, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the hashtag's on. I'll be back in a couple weeks, fear not. But in the meantime, you can, of course, don't follow me on Twitter. Don't do it. It's at @DaveStevens. Do not follow me. Please, I beg you, don't follow me. Don't write to me on Twitter. It's public. Anybody can. You can send me messages. I'll read them. Please don't. Yeah, that's my plug. Follow me on Instagram, though. Same handle. There you can see me juggle.
Very good. Very good. Well, guys, we're going to be back next week here on Phoenix FM, but we're going to continue on the stream right now.